Hey everyone, Colin once again, and welcome back to another movie review. And just want to quickly say I'm happy year 2016. So, and also because you notice, since New Year, I figure I'd do a poster change around my room. So, if you notice, got quickly see got the new poster of Goosebumps of the movie there, and I changed some more around here. I got moved my the Thing poster there, and I also put, if you can't see it because the freaking light is blocking it, if you can see it, that's the blob poster right there. And I figure I put back the Land Before Time poster back up there as well, and move my Ninja Turtle poster right there as well. So if you notice that there is a little bit of a change. Also, New Year, why not do another change around the room? So, and so for this year, for the first movie review of 2016, I figure well, I haven't been reviewing a lot of action films lately because, well, I've done quite a few, but I've been mostly reviewing horror or animation, kids films and stuff. But it's just because those are most of a lot of those films that I know more about. But I just want to. But I've reviewed some few action films, so you can, if you can find on my channel. So, but I figure for the first year I review this action film here, and I enjoy the film. And so for the first review of 2016, I'm going to review a Jean-Claude Van Damme film, Sudden Death. Sudden Death, released in the year 1995, and basically stars as Jean-Claude Van Damme. And I enjoy the film. It is also and one thing I enjoy about the film is that this film was directed by Peter Hyams, and which I already reviewed a couple of his films, like The Relic, um, End of Days. But I really enjoyed him. I really enjoyed him as an actor. I've said before in my other reviews because I think he's like a unique director. He does a unique mix of a little bit of the genres and stuff. He does horror, action, comedy, thriller. So he can do those like even science fiction. So he knows how to mix it up on directing on different genres of stuff. So I'm saying his list of films of, again, he directed The Relic, End of Days, Outland with Sean Connery, which I love, 2010, The Year We Made Contact, which is the sequel to 2001: A Space Odyssey. I love that sequel. And Stay Tuned with John Ritter. But he also had Narrow Margin, that's what it was, with Gene Hackman. And he's also he's worked with Jean-Claude Van Damme on a couple other films. He like this film here, and the year before before Sudden Death, Jean-Claude Van Damme and him worked on making Time Cop, which that's one of my favorite Van Damme movies, and I love Time Cop. So, and he also in 2013 he had worked on both. They worked with each other with again in Enemies Closer. Yeah, which that film was alright. And Peter Hyams also directed A Sound of Thunder, which, interesting idea though, but the execution of the film was very not so good. But yeah, so probably Peter Hyams has some couple of missteps though, but overall, of all the films that he has directed, I think he's a unique director. He's definitely one of my favorite directors that I really do enjoy. And The Relic, Sudden Death, I enjoy the film. Um, do I like Time Cop more than this? Yes, but I do have a couple of nitpicks I do have to say about the film though. But I'm not like those nitpicks don't hurt. Doesn't make me it doesn't make me hate the film. The couple of nitpicks which I will say though, but it doesn't make me hate the film. But and the film came out in December, in very late December, and I think it was like around Christmas time. And the film had a horrible opening at the box office, did poorly domestically, but even though it has made some money overseas though, but it made like 20 some in the U.S., but overall was 64 million with a budget of 35 million. So domestically didn't do well, sadly. Um, and what was stuff that I had about it? Yeah, it was given like mixed reviews as well, but I still like it. And it's also considered like it's one of those like one of those Die Hard stuff. You know, like after after Die Hard, there's films after that was like the hero in certain places this is like Die Hard in a hot in a hot and they say like Die Hard in a hockey rink. You know, or at the Stanley Cup or whatever. And Speed, which I've already viewed, which is like considered Die Hard on a bus, or Air Force One, Die Hard on the President's plane, and etc. You know, Die Hard of this or whatever. And I like the idea that it's an action film that takes place at a hockey game, the Stanley Cup actually, and nice location. And Peter Hyams, not only does he on all of his films, he's also done the cinematography as well as directing, and which the film looking wise looks good. And Jean-Claude Van Damme plays Darren McCord. It opens up with him. He was a firefighter. He was rescuing this girl, but the girl died sadly. And it's been enforced to 2 years later. He's now like a fire inspector at the hockey rink that he's going to. He's divorced, and his ex-wife wants he's taking his two children, his son and daughter, to the Stanley Cup. And pretty much the logistics of it is you got bad guys taking over, of course. But he gets there, and which one of the bad guys visits this old lady whose husband is the cook at the arena. And the main bad guy led by Powers Booth. Now, one of the big things I really enjoyed about this film was Powers Booth. I think he played such a fantastic bad guy. I really loved Powers Booth as the bad guy right here. He was very a no nonsense bad guy, because he just shoots people, and he doesn't even care, because like when he takes the box because the vice president is there in the box where VIP stuff, and he goes in. He takes over the box, and like there's this guy who was like wounded, and one guy says this guy needs a doctor, and Power Boost just literally goes and shoots the guy right in the head, and he says no, he doesn't now. And I like a lot of the lines that he says. The vice president talks about that guy he shot. Like he has a 5-year-old. He has a 5-year-old boy, a 3-year-old daughter, and his wife is pregnant. And he says, "I'll send a card." And of course he shoots the cook, and the bad guy that was at his wife's house shoots her. And of course the typical thing that bad guys always want is money. So either he wants the money, or else he'll shoot the hostages and blow up the building, because he has bombs rigged to bring the whole building down. And another lines that he says, like What kind of a lunatic? Like one guy wins this. What kind of a lunatic are you? The best. The best lunatic. Or another one where there's one of the hostages that's moaning like, well, is crying, is a woman, and Power Smooth says, "Would you get that cow to stop moaning?" I mean, I thought Power Smooth made it such a great bad guy, and Power Smooth, I also enjoy him as an actor, like from the original Red Dawn. He was also in Rapid Fire with Brendan Lee, may rest in peace. Southern Comfort, I think, was also the film he also starred in. But I thought he played such a great bad guy. I think he. And just look at the look on his face. You tell he's a serious bad guy that you want to hate. So as the game goes, like the girl, well, the boy had a water gun, like squirts water in the girl's face, and she goes running off into the bathroom. And as she goes in the bathroom, there's this woman, one of the female bad guys in the mascot costume, the penguin costume. The girl finds a dead woman. She takes her to the VIP, up to the before she shoots another guy. Then get to a I thought it was a cool fight, because you don't see this in that much, if ever, any action film where Van Damme fights a bad guy in a mascot costume. I thought it was a cool idea, It just although this is getting to one of the nitpicks I said, though. Usually you don't. It's hard for you to see, but of course there are some films I can notice, like stunt doubles. I mean, of course there was in a couple of fight scenes I can tell there were a couple of stunt doubles, though, but I mean, I could spot them easily if I just freeze frame every single part, though. But that's definitely one of the nitpicks, because normally, and well, for Van Damme you can do fight scenes, though, but seeing stunt doubles easily, though. But just it seemed when you notice it very easily, you can tell that's okay. Yeah, that's a stunt double. Yeah. I mean, the annoying part was you can just spot that's a stunt double, just like that, because that's how easy you can spot them. But yeah, that's definitely one of the nitpicks I see in a couple other fight scenes, though. But other than that, though, I thought it was a cool fight when he was fighting the bad guy in the mascot costume, like like he got like a couple of punches in the mascot head, and it's like does nothing, or one that has a meat cleaver and he's trying to dodge out of the way, or he sticks at which is a woman, though, he has the glove off and sticks her hand right into the fryer. Or there's like this a fan, lifts like the mascot that has the mascot head getting all torn up because of the fan. Or I thought that was a cool looking fight. Even though it is some good stunt work as well. And then eventually the woman chokes to death on the headpiece there. And then he goes and get to another well, he didn't know it was a bad guy, though, but tries to ask the security guard to see to show the body. But then he gets into another like he has I think it was dry eyes, because he sticks the guy's face in there. He says, next thing, the ear will come off. And tries to the guy holds a knife to him, and I thought he just goes and grabs a piece of a chicken bone, breaks it in half, and jams into the guy's neck. That was kind of that's another usual bad guy. He just stabs from a chicken bone. And then another thing is, what I noticed, like he only gets into those, he only kills 2 bad guys, and then from then on is just him trying to find the bombs and disarming them. Because he didn't get, but from that on, then until he gets to another fight, it's like a good chunk of the portion of the movie where he hasn't, where he just hasn't fought anybody though. That's another thing I can notice though, because like after he gets like two kills two bad guys, and then then the rest of the film is he's searching for the bombs, and then gets into another until he kills another bad guy. It's like a nice portion of the film where he's not fighting anybody though, but even though it's not wall to wall action or stuff like that, but it's just like the film could have picked it up just a little bit, but I thought was another a cool idea where he has this like this he makes this little contraption, like he has like this hose and stuff, and he has those, I think it was like a nail, and hides it in his shirt when he gets to another bad guy, because he finds because he's looking for the bombs, and he does like this when the bad guy tells him at gunpoint and says bye bye, and then Jean-Claude Van Damme goes and thinks goes and shoots right out and shoots into the guy's neck. And he goes bye bye. I thought he did like what I thought was like about how the way he shot it made it look like a Spider-Man movie, how Spider-Man would shoot his web out. I thought it was kind of a funny thing how he did like this, and then shoots a nail in the guy. It's like kind of like he pulled like a Spider-Man move. Or I think a funny thing is like he's starting to bomb. He has the explosive in his hands. Like tell you the bad guy's like, this is C4, this is the most powerful explosive in the world. And then it goes to the games periods. The hockey game period ends, and Power Smooth kills a couple more hostages. Sorry, my throat's a little dry. That's why I'm drinking so much here. And then then cuts to outside where the police trying to help put the money out. One of the agents Dorian Harewood, which he's been some films and television series. Which he was in Pacific Heights. I remember him seeing in Pacific Heights, and I know there was another film that I forgot that he was in though, but it just can't come to mind. And I thought I was looking at what other films and TV shows he was been in. I was like, really? I forgot that I did not know that he was one of the voices in the Land Before Time series, the TV show, The Land Before Time. He was one of the voices of Mr. Thicknose, who has appeared in a few episodes of the show. It's like, really? That's Dorian Harewood, which is there's his picture right there. I was like, really? He voices Mr. Thicknose in the Land Before Time show? I was like, really? I was like, wow. I did not know that. But yeah. But it cuts to him outside with all the others, and nothing really happens except one bad guy fires a rocket launcher to scare off the helicopters, or when Jean-Claude Van Damme has that billboard at the outside, try to tell these trying to disarm the bombs, and then the bad guy shoots the rocket launcher at the thing. Good explosion. That's what this film has some nice good explosions. But then that's pretty much it. Or another scene where they just throw the bad guys, where they still have the dead bodies stuff to show the police. Or a couple of cars blow up. But that's pretty much it. Then it's basically like there's no need to show them outside and So, but and then you find out that he's working with Power's booth. He's a dirty, he's dirty and all that. And although one thing I do want to say that if he's working with Power, he found out he's a bad guy. He's working with Power's booth. Oh, then when the scene where Van Damme is doing this is the most powerful explosive, and when he's holding by another bad guy, and Dorian Harewood just knocks the guy out. If he's working with Powers Booth, why didn't he just shoot him right there so that way he can, solve the bad guy's problem no more? But well, though he said that he was about to shoot until a couple more bad guys shot at both of them, and that's why. But why he did it right from the start, right until he knocked that guy out. But well. Oh, like I said, this film I have a few nitpicks at though, but it's not enough for me to hate the film. I still enjoy the film. But so the next thing when he meets up with Jean-Claude Van Damme again, and then reveals that he's a bad guy. Van Damme pulls out the water gun that he took from his son and lighter fluid, and Dorian Harewood as Hallmark as the guy's name, Hallmark. He says, "What are you gonna do? Drown me?" And Van Damme says, "No," and shoots the water and the lighter fluid, and guy bursts into flames. Good looking stunt, a good stunt work of the guy on fire. That's a good fire stunt. I would give that. And when he bumps into the guy again, you can see he quickly bumps into the guy again. You can see like a part of his face is like burned. Good makeup effect right there. You can see it. It's a quick shot though, but if you notice though, it's a good little makeup right there where how he looks burned. Look like all this right here is all burned and his eyes all covered up, and he's like this and then he gets to another scene which I thought was a really good a fun back and forth when he's talking with Powers Booth on the phone, and then he says he's like, okay, here's the game, and here are the rules. I've got your bombs, and you've got your hostage, and so you can get your money, and I'm going to try to stop you, but I don't want anyone to get hurt. You stop me, you win. I get your bombs, I win. That's the game we're going to play, you piece of shit. That's another funny line. And then it's like if you touch her, his daughter, the game's off. Then I'll come after you. You'll have to kill me in front of everybody in this arena. There will be panic. The Secret Service, SWAT, the fucking Navy will come in there. And then you don't get your money. You lose, pal. I thought that was kind of how he talks was talking with Powers. I thought that was kind of a fun scene right there. I mean, and this is why I enjoy the film. I mean, Jean-Claude Van Damme, he does a good job. Powers Booth, fantastic bad guy he plays. So there's nothing wrong with their performances. So he tried to disarm as many bombs as he can, and there's one thing leads to another that he gets into the goalie's outfit, and he's out in he's in the game, and he's the goalie, and there's a scene where he goes and he jumps to the side and catches the puck, to save the goalie. So I thought, okay, and when he's doing this in the game, he's like, oh shit, just. I thought, okay, I like that how he's actually playing in the game, and he very quickly has to stop this goal and stuff. And then he has to go back though, but so how he gets himself out of the game is how he hits somebody, and the coach is like, hey, what are you doing? And then he goes back into the locker room and gets into a fight with two more bad guys, which is some good gunfights. But then, of course, I once again you can notice a couple of the stunt doubles that's doing this scene. It's very in this situation it's very easy to spot. if you freeze or if you can freeze frame it though, but still, I still have fun firefights and stuff in the locker room. I still like the scene, but except for if you but you still can notice the stunt doubles. And then at a point where he makes this little makeshift bomb, and he gets up to the roof of the building, and the thing, like the dome of this building, and it opens up, and one guy gets into war with another bad guy, and the guy falls. This which also I thought was kind of funny in a way, because just before Powers Booth sets off the bombs, the game goes into sudden death, hence the title, Sudden Death. Which I go, okay, that's like, wow. I was like, oh, wow, what a coincidence. How they managed to get into sudden death in overtime just before he hits pulls the bombs. But which is another thing with the detonator, is that there was another funny scene where Powers with holes what people think looks like a detonator, but really it's a lighter. So, but anyway, back to the scene where the guy falls into the thing where it shows the timer and the score and stuff, and then it causes panic. Everybody's running, and then, well, this does cause panic though. But then Jean-Claude Van Damme goes swings over to this thing, slides all the way down, throws the little bomb into the roof of the box, and then jumps in, shoots all the rest of the bad guys. Then it causes real panic, and then Powers Booth slips away, and then what he puts on like a fake mustache and team jacket, and then he says, see how many bombs you found, fireman. Pulls all the triggers to the detonator to see which ones he has found, and some of them explode, and it's like same where there's like water running down, flooding over people. And then also, of course, his daughter gets taken again because the daughter notices that's Powers Booth because she stamped his hand and noticed that's him though. But she gets taken. He goes after her, gets onto the roof, and I thought it was because how it's like zoomed out when him and Powers Booth are fighting. So it's like, I mean, not only that the fight was bad, but is that the whole thing most of the time is like mostly zoom out, so you kind of see who is fighting who and stuff. But or I could not tell if there was stunt double or what. But then Powers Booth gets into the helicopter, and Jean-Claude Van Damme shoots the helicopter and kills the last of the two bad guys, and which I thought was kind of a. Now I really enjoy this scene right here as he shoots the one pilot that's controlling the helicopter, and then the helicopter goes like this. It starts going all the way down into the stadium, and I thought that was cool how the helicopter is going all the way down into the stadium, and Powers was trying to get control, but no good. He's going all the way down, and I like the scene where he sees Jean-Claude Van Damme. They both exchange glances at each other, and he's like, Powers was like looking at him as about they're both going down, and Jean-Claude Van Damme's like, give him like a mean, give him the mean look as in, you're dead. And then Powers is now screaming, ah! And then the helicopter crashes down into the ice rink. Really good practical explosion. Now I guarantee though, this would not happen no more. I guarantee if today they were to do a helicopter crash, it would be totally CGI. I would guarantee it. So this is one of the things that you can see that an actual helicopter falling all the way down, exploding. That would be done completely CGI. I would guarantee it. So I like the helicopter crash. It was a nice, good actual explosion of it going all the way down into the stadium, crashing and exploding. And Powers was just all he does is just scream, ah! And then it ends with him, Van Damme getting taken away in an ambulance. So sudden death. I really enjoyed the film. I do. There was a few of the nitpicks. Mainly I can notice the stunt doubles and stuff though, but and a couple of those other ones that I said, but it's not enough for me to make me hate the film. I really enjoyed the film. It does Those nitpicks does not make me hate the film at all. It doesn't. I can let those go if I was entertained by the film, and I was. Sudden Death, I was entertained by the film. Jean-Claude Van Damme did a good job. Powers Booth, he was a fantastic bad guy. A lot of the lines that he says, especially him the scene where the scene where him and Van Damme are talking on the phone, and Van Damme was talking about, let's play this game and stuff. And though I like the stunt work, the nice explosions. Like I said, even though the action scenes about him that I like, that Van Damme fighting the hockey team mascot, cool fight fight scene. Although, like I said, even the in the between gap where he kill those two people before he gets to the next bad guy, it's like a little portion that he does, and it's like, yeah. But other than that, though, I was entertained by the film. Even I feel they were looking up in the trivia's that Van Damme has the two kids. Look, I thought that the one who was gonna play before this girl here, I thought they wanted Mara Wilson to play. Mara Wilson from Mrs. Doubtfire, Miracle on 34th Street, and Matilda and stuff. I thought they wanted her to play the daughter, but looking out that her parents didn't want her participating in this film because of the violence in the film. Although that would have been unusual to see Mara Wilson in a film, in an action film, because Mara Wilson, from Mrs. Doubtfire and Matilda. Yeah, that would have been kind of an off thing though. So yeah, but other than that though, like I said, Jean-Claude Van Damme does a good job. Powers Booth, he was such a great bad guy. I really liked this bad guy, him playing the bad guy. Dorian Harewood, he was alright, but although, like I said, most of the time him coming outside with the police. I think they could have cut those scenes out. Although just to show the bad guy to shoot the rocket launchers to scare off the police and helicopters, or to blow up some cars in the parking lot, or to blow up the billboard. Which again, good actual good explosions. I will give that. But other than that, though, what else is there to give to see the outside of the stadium? But I still like it because it's a good location for an action film. Die Hard in a hockey rink, or the Stanley Cup, basically. But I also like that in retrospect, it's directed by Peter Hyams, because I always enjoyed him as a director. Because obviously, as I said before, I think he's a unique director, I would say, and that's why I like Time Cop more than this, though. But which I'll have to review sometime, though, but not anytime soon, though. But I just want to review this one, though. But I do in retrospect of what Peter Hyams was doing, because I really enjoy him as a director. And I guess it's just one of those, action, one of those. It's one of those action films of its time, because how a good old fashioned looking action film of the '90s. How an action film looks in the '90s. It's because it's a good looking action film to take place in the '90s, because especially when it's in a Die Hard in a hockey rink, or Stanley Cup, I would say. But The action scenes I liked, and some of the things that like Jean-Claude Van Damme, doing like I would say the Spider-Man thing, and or to kill a bag with to shoot out a nail, or to kill someone with a chicken bone, or the fight with the mascot. But Power Smooth, I thought he did such a fantastic job as a bad guy. A lot of lines he says. And also the guy, also I noticed, I forgot to say that the guy who plays the vice president was the same guy who played which I think he also worked with Power Smooth and also in Rapid Fire as well. And also he was also the guy in Flubber, the Robin Williams film Flubber as well. I thought that was him, the guy who was in Flubber and Rapid Fire, yeah. Who plays the vice president. But yeah. I do enjoy the film, except although those nitpicks I said about, I still enjoy the film. It doesn't make it, I do not hate the film at all. I still got entertainment by the film. Just watching the film again, it makes it looks like I'm watching a good old fashioned action film of the '90s. Just how the way the film looks, it looks like a good old fashioned action film of the '90s. So yeah. And plus, I want to try to review review more action films as I can. So when I start this year off with a film like this, a Jean-Claude Van Damme movie, because I've always loved Jean-Claude Van Damme. Grew up watching a lot of his movies. So I want to start off 2016 with the first review of my channel on reviewing a great, well, with the nitpicks, I wouldn't call it great. I would say entertaining action film. I would say, yeah. So when I review an entertaining action film, especially for a Jean-Claude Van Damme film, so yeah. And although the tagline here on this DVD just says "Terror goes into overtime," although on the poster, the film action goes into overtime, so they change action to terror for this. That was kind of funny though, but and the film was on for an hour and 51 minutes, but it's not fast paced. I would say that normally I watch a lot of films that are fast paced, but there are films that are a little bit slow, and I like to pick it up though. Like I said, like the portion where he kills the two bad guys, and then before it gets to another bad guy. The portion right there, that's where the slow pace one, because it shows him trying to disarm the bombs. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah. But I still enjoy the film. I got entertained by it, so all those nitpicks I can let go because I was entertained by the film. So that's my review for Sudden Death. Jean-Claude Van Damme was great, and so was Powers Booth. And maybe I'll put this in my, well, it's definitely in my top 10 favorite Van Damme films. I would definitely say that. So yeah. One day I mentioned I would like to one day make my top list favorite Jean-Claude Van Damme films, but not anytime soon though. But one day I would like to though. But yeah, that's my review for Sudden Death though. Thanks for watching, and stay tuned on the next movie review. Later.